Hello everyone, my name is Bahadur Mori and I am an English and SS teacher in Sarjana English Medium School at Natejuna. Once again, welcome to all. This is a part 4 of this video and today I am taking English Standard 8, Chapter number 1, The Best Christmas Gift in the World. This is the part 4 and the last part of this video. Previous part we told and we heard about all the story about Mrs. McPherson's, that her name is Connie, and one more thing is that conversation with Mr. Jim and Hans Wolf, right? The German soldier Hans Wolf and Jim's conversation, and the conversation reached to the football match, and what happened that we already know, right? So still you didn't see the previous video, so please go to the our gallery and our channel gallery and find that video and watch it again, listen very carefully so that you can get all the point about this chapter. And today I am going this part 3 part 4 of this video, and here is the point we reached over here, right? So please use your hands free for this much better sound. So now I am going to read every line, so listen very carefully, and I explain every line by line in my way, so better you can understand the story of this very interesting story. This is a war story, love story, friendship story, right? That we know. Now without further ado, I have to start this story. See now what happened. Now narrator, now this three part, this third part is the narrator meet Mr. McPherson. Narrator will meet the Mr. McPherson, and what happened with the when they meet to McPherson, Miss Jim's wife, Mrs. Jim wife's Connie. So what happened that we will look out in this point. I folded the letter again and slipped it carefully back into the envelope. Then what did narrator? Narrator did, they folded the letter again and slipped it, that he put it into the carefully and back into the envelope. I kept awake all night. Right. He just kept awake all night. He didn't sleep full night. He just wake up all night. By morning, I knew what I had to do. So at the morning, by morning, he knew that what he will do. I drove into Bridport, just a few miles away. So he just drove. He just reached to the Bridport, just a few miles away. And I asked a boy walking his dog where Copper Beaches was. So he asked a boy walking his dog. He just asked one boy who was walking with his dog, and where Copper Beaches was, right? So there is a Copper Beaches was there. They asked to that boy. House number 12 turned out to be the house number 12 turned out to be the nothing but a burnt out shell. The roof keeping the windows boarded up. So he asked the boys that what happened this one. They replied that nothing is now saved, all thing is burned, destroyed by fire, covered with the wooden boards, border up. That is all the cover is like junk, like काट माट जिसको बोलते हैं ना, जलने के बाद जो सामान पड़ा रहता है, like this way. So nothing will remaining, everything burn out by fire. So then knew the I know at the house next door, and so burn out, sorry, a roof gaping and windows and board up. I knocked at the house next door and asked if anyone knew the whereabout of Mrs. McPherson. So he just go to the other house, and he asked about Mrs. McPherson, where she is. Oh yes, said the old man. So one man replied that, oh yes, I know that. In his slippers, so he knew her well. So one man's neighbors of Mrs. Comey replied that, yes, I know what happened. So lovely old lady, he replied. The neighbor replied to the narrator, okay, very lovely lady. He told me. He told me that. Neighbor told him, a bit muddle-headed, but her age she was entitled to be, wasn't she? He just explained about the Mrs. Comey conditions. 101-year-old. So he give the what age they were. Mrs. McPherson, what is age? Say one more than 100 year. She had been in the house when it caught fire. So he she had been in this house. He lived in this house before the this house caught fire. Before caught fire, the Mrs. McPherson still lived this house, but after the had caught fire, they has to left. So she left it. No one really knew how the fire had started. So no one didn't know how the fire started, but it could well have been candles. Many of said that it could be happened through the candles. Maybe candles, the Mrs. McPherson used a candle, did not use electricity, use candles. So because so we just assume that fire had happened because of candles. She used a candle rather than electricity. So she used a candle rather than electricity. So he didn't prefer to use electricity. He used to candle because she always thought that what Mrs. Coney thought that is said by her neighbor. She always thought that electricity was too expensive. So Mrs. Coney thought that electricity is very expensive, so he not prepared to use electricity, always prepared to candles. That's why. The fireman had got her out just in a time, so the fireman just got out just in a time. Otherwise, she will lost his life. She was in the nursing home now. So neighbor said to the narrator, and right now she is in a nursing home. She told me, he told me, that means the narrator explained to us that his neighbor told to narrator, Brickton House on the Dorset Road on the other side of town. So this give the result of the that nursing house. The neighbor gave result to narrator. Here is the result. Burlington House on the Dorset Road on the other side of on. Right. So this is the happen that what happened. So now. Narrator reached to the Mrs. McPherson house, and they found there is nothing but only burned house there. Only caught fire house is there. He asked to neighbors, and he found some information what happened exactly. Now here is a comparison check. Why did the author go to Bridport? Because he want to the meet with Mrs. McPherson, and he want to return to his letter to Mrs. McPherson. How old was Mrs. McPherson now? 102 years. Here is answer. You can find this answer. 1 year old, 101-year old, 101. And where was she? Right now she was in a nursing house because of his house had caught fire. Right. So these two comparison check, you will find answer from the paragraph and write in your book. Clear? And if you didn't know the which new words, you have to write a new words in your book also. Clear? This is how you can improve your English, your vocabulary. Now next, what happened? Narrator. Now what continue? We have to continue now. I found Burlington House nursing home easily enough. So you just find a nursing house where exactly that nursing house. There were paper chains up in the whole way, and lighted Christmas tree stood in the corner with a lopsided angle on top. This is the explanation of जो explanation of the about the nursing house. What exactly nursing house is that? He just thought that there were paper chain up in the whole way, and lighted Christmas. There maybe that is a Christmas day. Lighted Christmas tree stood there. Christmas tree stood there at the corner, and with the lopsided angle on top. I said I was a friend come to visit Mrs. McPherson to bring her a Christmas present. So narrator said to some person who available there. He said, I want to meet to Mrs. McPherson, and I come with some bring her a Christmas present. He want to give to Christmas present, right? So he bring her a Christmas present. So I could see through into the dining room where everyone was wearing a paper hat and singing. See, So narrator can easily narrator could see the into the dining room. Dining room. There is the dining room. They see the some everyone wearing the paper cap. Whenever we celebrate something, anything like a birthday, anniversary, that we wearing a paper cap. Like this paper cap, they all wearing paper hat and singing. So all the people wearing a paper hat and singing because that is a Christmas day, so they all are celebrating. The matron had a hat on too. So matron also had a hat. Matron, that is a one person who serve the service over there, working over there, ladies most probably. The matron had a hat on too and seemed happy enough to see me. So he is very happy to when he had see to narrator. She even offered me a mince pie. Mince pie is a kind of piece of something sweet. She walked me along the corridor. He just walked along the corridor, and Mrs. Macpherson is not with the other. Right. So Mrs. Macpherson is alone. She is not with the other because other are celebrating at the dining hall. Put a hat on his hand. Sorry, on head. So she has no. Sorry, she told me she is rather confused today. So we thought it best if she had a good rest. So matron replied to the narrator that he most probably confused today right now. So they thought that it is best to if she had a good to rest. If she had a take a rest, so it's much better. She has no family. She has no family. Replied narrator. Also know that she has no family. No one visit to Mrs. McPherson because his only husband was died. That we know, right? One visits. So I am sure she will be only too pleased to see you. So matron replied to narrator, I am sure that if she will see you, she will definitely happy because no one met to Mrs. McPherson, so definitely she will happy. She has no family, no one visit to us. So I am sure she will be only too pleased to see you. Right? She took me into a conservatory with wicker chairs and potted plants all around the left me. See, he just took him away and he just and she took me into the conservatory with the wicker chair. So here is the picture, the wicker chair over here, right? And potted plants. You can see the behind the potted plants all around and left me. All around and left me. The everywhere potted plant and over there, and the wicker chair is there. You can see in the picture. This is the description. The old lady was sitting in the wheelchair, here the wheelchair, and her hands folded in her lap. So he just folded in her lap, and she had a silver white hair. Explanation of discrimination about the Mrs. Macpherson is her name is Connie, as you know. She had a silver white hair and pin into a wispy bun. The wispy bun, like curly kind of bun. Bun he and the bun is a kind of hair format, and. Wispy Bun, she was gauging out the garden. He's just gauging out the garden, and he just now, hello, I said. The narrator said that, hello. She turned and looked up at me vacantly. He just turned up and looked at the narrator and looked at me and vacantly. Happy Christmas, Connie. So narrator said to Mr. Macpherson, Happy Christmas, Connie. Connie is a Mrs. Macpherson name. I went on. I went on. Right. I found this. I found this. I think it's here. He just explained about the about that letter. He just went on. I found that. I found this, and I think it's yours. So narrator said that it's your that envelope, that letter, that box. As I was speaking, her eyes never left my face. When the narrator speaking everything, it said the truth. I found this from your, I bought a junk shop. I went to junk shop and I bought one, roll top decks, and I found your box and all that and letters, and this explain every story about what happened. But Mrs. Macpherson, Connie just look at to only at narrator. narrator face. I opened the tin box. Speaking never left my eyes. I opened the tin box and gave it to her. He just opened the tin box. You can see the picture. He just opened the tin box and give it to the Mrs. Connie. Sorry, Connie, to the Connie, Mrs. McPherson. And that was the moment her eye light up with recognition and her face become suffused with the sudden glow of happiness. So when the narrator gave to him the tin box and open it, you can see at the picture. So that time we just saw, Mrs. McPherson like have a more smile on his face. His just face is lighting, his eyes glow. Right, now he recognized and her face become suffused, very curious kind of face it's become. I explained about the desk. He explained about the desk, how he got and all that. About how I had found it also, but I don't think she was listening. When the narrator explained everything, na, how I got the desk and all that, how found these letters and all that, but he didn't listen. He just he just amused it. For a while, she said nothing. For a while, she said nothing, but struck the letter tenderly and with her fingertips. She just struck the letter tenderly and with her fingertips, this fingertip like this way. And suddenly she reached out and took my hand. Suddenly reached out to the narrator and he took his hand. And her eye were filled with tears. So when they took his hand and her eye, Connie eyes, Mrs. McPherson eyes was filled with tear. You told me you would come home by Christmas, dearest. Mrs. Coney still remember his husband Jim told her that he would come on Christmas, right? By Christmas, right? Dearest Connie, she said. And here you are, the best Christmas present in the world. Come closer, Jim dear, sit down. See, now Mrs. Very emotional. This was paragraph. I many times get emotional when I read this paragraph. Someone came to his and when Mrs. McPherson thought that he is my husband, but actually it's a narrator that we all know, right? But Mrs. Jim McPherson thought that my husband also gave me promise that he would come by Christmas. So now he came and he completed his promise. But actually, we all know that his husband James McPherson died at work. So that's why the Mrs. Connie said, "Here you are, in the best Christmas present in the world. This was the best Christmas present in the world. That you are come again. You come at home. Come closer, Jim dear. Sit down." So by accidentally he thought that the narrator is not a narrator, but it's a Jim. He thought that his husband is there, and he told Jim, "Please sit down." So narrator just just he can't believe that what happened exactly. So now I sat down beside her. He just sat down beside her and she kissed my cheek. So when he sit down the beside and kissed the cheek, and I read your letters so often, Jim, every day. So this line by Connie, Mrs. McPherson said, Jimmy, I read your letter so often. That means many times he read your letters every day. I wanted to hear your voice in my head. So he want to hear his husband voice, right? But it always made me feel you were with me. But he always feel when they read the letter, that time he thought that you are with me always. You are not alone. You not leave me. You are always with me, like this way. And now you are. That means you are here now. Now you are back. Now you are back again. Can read it to me yourself. So Mrs. McPherson told to the narrator, "Can you please read it again?" Because Mrs. McPherson thought that narrator is it's my husband Jim. That's why telling like this to me yourself. Would you do that for me? So would you do that for me, Jim dear? So Mrs. McPherson said, "Jim dear, please, would you do for me to read this letter? I just to hear your voice again, and I would love that so much." So he just want to hear his voice again, and Mrs. McPherson want to, I would love again, and I would love that so much. and then perhaps we will have some tea. Then after Mrs. McPherson said, then after you read the letter, then we will do the take a tea. I have made you a nice Christmas cake. See, he already made a nice Christmas cake, and marzipan, the like to the Jim very like marzipan all around. I know how much you love marzipan, Mrs. McPherson said. I know how love you marzipan. Marzipan is a kind of variety of cook. So this is the emotional story, and the narrator, Mrs. McPherson mistakenly believed the narrator to be her husband. How they mistakenly believe that in this paragraph, we can say that narrator just come for return to his letter, her letter, which is by accidentally he found, and but accidentally Mrs. McPherson believe that his her husband came, but there is not his husband that we know. So very inspiration, very lovable story. One war can demolish many things. One war can destroy many families, that we can understand, right? So now this chapter is finished now, and I hope you got every point of this story. Recall again and again this story and read many times, so you can better you convenience to understand. Here the comparison check, every comparison check you will write in your Facebook. I already told you, every comparison check you will find answer from the paragraphs, from the text, and you will write in your Facebook. New word also you will write. Here is the comparison check. Who did Connie make person think her visitor was? Who did Connie make person think her visitor was? So as we know, the Mrs. Connie thought that Connie thought that the visitor was his husband Jim. Which sentence in the text show that the visitor did not try to hide his identity? See, this line also, just 1 minute. So, which sentence I read again. So, which sentence in the text show that the visitor did not try to hide his identity? We can say that a narrator explained about the dash and about the how he had found it, and but I don't think she was listening. This is the line that narrator explained. Narrator didn't say any wrong, right? So the all the detailed answer you will find from the textbook and write in your Facebook. I hope you got every point, and next chapter number 2 will be soon according to our timetable, right? We will upload you and we will inform you. So please stay home, stay safe, take care, and do all the exercise and with the good handwriting in your Facebook. Take care. We will meet again.